Hey everyone, welcome to the Manx Solutions YouTube channel. We're super excited that you are here. Introduce this channel as an opportunity for you guys to meet us and what exactly we're going to be going through over the next weeks and months as we go along here. So Manx Solutions back in 2020 was to build a DevOps framework that is secure, that's automated, and future ready. We see organizations all the time. They're trying to come up with different ways to be able to automate what they're doing inside of the application development workspace and all the things that go into a DevOps platform, into a DevOps framework. Now, I know what you're thinking. DevOps is not a framework. Yes, that is true. However, there's a lot of common practices and principles that all DevOps frameworks need, or all DevOps solutions need. So as a Microsoft MVP, as a former Microsoft MVP, what we wanted to do is bring the best of those tools together into a framework that businesses and organizations can use to solve a lot of their challenges. So what we did is we created a better together strategy using Microsoft's Azure DevOps, GitHub, and also combining it with Terraform so that we can automate this entire infrastructure using code and the entire platform in one place. It's awesome. So what we wanted to do is really to help teams to modernize what they're doing, to automate a lot of these processes, put in best practices, things that are secure, knowing that anytime we add automation, we have to make sure that things are done in an automated but in a secure way and around all of our DevOps workflows. So we're super excited that you're here. What we're going to do as part of this channel is we're going to walk through how to use these tools together. We're going to talk about all the different pieces that we can put together and also how we plan to bundle those in terms of creating unique training plans that your teams can build and use in order to take this framework and implement it inside of your organization. So we're super excited. What we like to call this is we wanted to give a name to this framework. We had put together all these things. We've been working for years in organizations, big and small, in terms of how do we put this together? How do we name this thing? What is this thing? So what we come up with is called the Universal DevOps Framework. And really what it is it's taking all of those different pieces, Azure DevOps, GitHub, and Terraform, and using those together across the entire life cycle of DevOps. How you plan work, where you store your code, how you manage code, how you build it, how you test it, how you deploy it, and then how you manage it going forward. Just like in any solution in technology today, there's many ways to do it the right way, and there's even more ways to do it the wrong way. So we wanted to come up with a way as what is something that organizations can take using the best tools out there that Microsoft has to be able to implement that into your environment. Now, maybe you're already using Azure DevOps today or GitHub today. This is also a great way to look at different best practices of how those tools can be implemented, how they can be changed. There's times we go into organizations and we look at a lot of how they have Azure DevOps or GitHub configured, and it's just not following certain best practices. Or not implementing some of the more secure practices like Microsoft Zero Trust. Zero Trust can absolutely be implemented as part of your DevOps platform and should be, especially around your pipeline framework. So what we're going to be doing over these next weeks is we're going to be talking about the Universal DevOps Framework, how we can use these various tools. And we're coming up with sort of this training plan, coming up with a lot of different courses that you can use to learn how to use these tools appropriately, broken up by the different sections or categories. So we're going to come out and talk about all those various areas that you can learn about, and we're going to walk through this together. So I thought to myself, well, we need to put this training plan together. We have this whole entire framework that we can talk about, but we need to be able to build that out. So what we're going to do is as we build out these training courses, as we build out this framework, so that you can see what that looks like, here in this channel, we're going to do a lot of that together. We'll give you a sneak peek into some of those training videos that we're putting together. And as we build out some of these environments, we're going to take an environment and build it up from scratch so you can see how it's actually put together. So you'll see as we go along We're going to go and be working inside of Azure DevOps because let's be honest, that's where a lot of people are working today. Is they're in Azure DevOps, they have a lot of code there. If you're not and you want to see how this can benefit your org, great place to start. So we have Azure DevOps. You can see I only have one team project out here. We're going to build this out together. We have our GitHub org. We're going to build this out together too, all very vanilla right now. We're also going to introduce Terraform, how you can actually take all these components and using some out-of-box providers from Microsoft, we're going to actually automate a lot of these components as well, and then how this all can hook into Azure. So what is the best practices of managing users, managing entitlements, managing permissions and authorizations? How do we do that all tied into EntreID? So what we're going to do over the next weeks is we're going to be putting together this whole training plan. The framework has been used by many organizations for many years and has been tremendously successful. And what we want to do is start to build that out and allow you to see how it's actually built out, and then be able to start to see how you can implement that within your organization, or how we can come along and partner with you to do that as well. So we're super excited you're here, super excited for this channel. And what we're also going to do is talk about what's upcoming for some of these platforms. What's upcoming with Azure DevOps. So Azure DevOps, as you may know, has not as much investment as GitHub does. However, there's a lot of security things that they're adding that we're going to talk about as new features come in. How do you do that? Where's the best place to see the different things that are coming in as part of the product? And then GitHub is just exploding with features, especially around GitHub Copilot, GitHub Advanced Security, the auto remediate functionality. We're going to talk about all that. So that's going to be another great place where you can get caught up and really hear of what's new and how that can really impact you in terms of your organization and what you're doing with inside of DevOps. So we're going to come along for the ride. And additionally, what we're going to talk about is just DevOps in general. Where's DevOps? What is the state of DevOps in terms of the industry today? What does DevOps mean? I think when people hear that term, maybe they think, yeah, it's important, or what does that exactly mean? Or, yeah, that was kind of this thing we did about 10 years ago. But really what we see, if we really understand what DevOps is and what its mission really is to drive value, then we really can see that nothing has changed in the industry, that this is just as important now than it ever was before. So if this is something you want to see what's going on in the DevOps space, in the industry as a whole, then you're also in the right place. So we're super excited. Come and subscribe, join the channel, and we look forward to what's coming in the future. We'll catch you later.